Yeah, I thought they were really good. The first 20 minutes were a little bit scratchy. Halifax kind of came at us really. Unsettled us a little bit for that first spell. So that's obviously something we need to look at and learn from. But I think the boys did. They adapted on the run very quickly, and then we got back to the processes of what we said we need to focus on. But the boys had spoke all week about the professionalism and the kind of discipline. So they were a little bit disappointed with the start of it. But obviously after that, I thought it was outstanding.
It's like seeing an old record, but Hastings again just runs the show, doesn't it?
I thought our middles obviously did really well as well today, setting us on the platform, because Halifax kind of controlled our first few early sets, and then once they got on top, Jackson and Robbie can start to play, and Niall can start to link in with them as well, and your nines on the back of that as well. So everything kind of comes off our middles setting the platform. I thought they were real good at that today again. And like I said, then Jackson, them, if they're given space and they're given opportunities to run, they will do.
Do you think you can keep him in? I mean, he's clearly a phenomenal player, isn't he? What do you rate?
Yeah, well, we've spoken to the club and we've asked the club to have the best shot at him that we can do as well. So time will tell. He's really keen on making sure that we secure our Super League future and before moving forward. Again, there'll be other clubs that are probably out there and want to have a little look at him now, whereas probably before they didn't want to have a little look at him because of the reputation of what he kind of came across. But we did our own work on him. We spoke to a hell of a lot of people over there, and they all gave us really kind of positive feedback on him as well, so we were kind of happy to take that punt. Other teams maybe didn't want to take that punt at that time, but like I say, we did, and it's to our benefit really. And he's in our system at the moment. He knows what we're about, he knows what we like about him, he knows what he likes about us, so hopefully we can have a good shot at him and try and keep him.
He and Joey have got the headlines in terms of recruits, but Ed Chamberlain and Greg Burke as well. How important have they been since they've come in?
Outstanding. I think it was, like I say, it was a great signing for us really. We lost a really good guy, to be fair, in Weller, in kind of what he was around the club and what he was as a person. But in terms of playing, two young lads, two young British lads, for a player who's coming to the back end of his career now, and he's an overseas player as well. And like I say, well, he was a great bloke to have around Weller. I think for us as a club, it was in the right direction that we kind of took that step at that time.
Tim Sheen said yesterday 2 wins from 3 was an outstanding start for Hull KR, so what do you make of 3 wins from 3?
Yeah, no, it's good. Like I say, we're focusing on one game at a time, though, so you've got to get minimum 10 points in this. We've had an attitude that we felt after the Leeds game, we kind of changed our confidence around the place and the way we trained, and the boys have spoke all the time about each game and about our preparation going into each game and making sure that we're disciplined and professional going into every single game, whether it be a Halifax, whether it be a Hull KR. I think we've kind of shown that mentality today, so next week will be a good challenge for us against Toronto now at home to make sure that we're prepped right for that.
Daryl Alford's a really good performance, not just the tries, but what do you make of his actual contribution on the whole?
It's been good, mate. I think the one positive, and it was probably tough earlier on in the season, and we said this about the young lads from maybe the year before, but the one good thing that's happened here is Darrell, who's came in, Chris Bryning when he came in, Ed Chamberlain now as well, Greg, Daniel Murray, all these young lads are all starting to develop and improving themselves as players and as people as well around the club, to be fair, and they buy into what we want as a club, and that's probably the key thing, is the group work really hard to kind of create that kind of environment where everyone enjoys being and able to express themselves as well, and they've added to that since they've come in. And Darrell, as like I say, he's took his opportunities really well, because ideally he wasn't meant to play this many games in his first season. Obviously we had Manu at the beginning of the year and then he got injured, but I think he's took his opportunity really well, mate.
Word on the fans, it came in the numbers today and they've never shown.
Outstanding. I think that's the biggest following we've had for a while, mate, to be fair, and the noise from him was good as well, and that helps generate an atmosphere as well when you're playing teams away, because you have to do it tough, and we came here expecting to do it tough as well against Halifax. I think the way Halifax have gone about their business this year and the way Richie's gone about his business, I think it's kind of credit to them as a club, and I know it's a good club through playing here, but I think they just keep taking steps forward, Halifax, on underneath Richie and them.
With regards to getting those 10 points, how important is it that you can get it done, if you can, 5 from 5, just from a recruitment perspective, and that becomes certainty?
Yeah, you've just answered probably your own question there with a little bit, because it is, the sooner you do it. The thing, if you think now in Australia, a lot of teams are finishing now, so there's players who are going to be going away from the club, who are off contract, who are going to be wanting to get themselves sorted out, so other clubs probably have a jump start on us there. So it's important for us to kind of get it done as early as we can, so then we can look to recruit smartly, because we are behind the ball game on that. And like I say, the decision obviously rests with the club and where they want the club to go forward. I know where I want the club to go, but we need to all be on the same page as a club. And I think hopefully we've just started to turn the corner with being able to bring people like Jackson and Joey in, and hopefully being able to keep them kinds of players within our environment.
And you mentioned Jackson, other clubs may be interested. Are you aware that there is interest elsewhere in him now?
It would be stupid if there wasn't, mate, to be honest with you. He's an NRL player. I talked to Jackson. I watch a lot of kind of NRL as well. He's an NRL player, mate, and like I say, it didn't work out for him where he was last time, and he had a couple of issues over there, but he came across here to kind of resurrect his career, if you like, a little bit, and kind of get himself refocused. But the biggest thing he wanted to do was come over here and enjoy playing football, and then see where that took him. And I think we've allowed him to do that. And we speak every day. He only lives around the corner. I know he's always in Blease's house at the moment as well, watching the rugby. So he's enjoying himself, and I think that's the key thing for him. Sometimes you can lose that bit of enjoyment, and that's probably what he did. He lost at Manly and at the Roosters, and hopefully he's got that back now, and you can see it in his performances from here.
When he first signed, Jackson was sort of fairly adamant that it was just a short-term thing in back to Australia.
Yep.
Are you sensing that he's perhaps sort of changing, maybe could stay sort of in the English game,
Oh.
whether it's just offered or not?
I think his ultimate aim is he wants to prove to people that he is an NRL player, I think. That's where he's always been brought up. He's been brought up in that environment He's been brought up in the environment where everyone wants to be an NRL player, an NRL star, and maybe he got it really young, and that probably didn't help him, really, because he had to control the Roosters team at a very young age when Mitchell Pearce was missing at the beginning of the season. And it was maybe probably a little bit too much pressure at that time for him to handle. But I think he's learning, and like I say, he's enjoying himself. And yeah, we know people are going to be interested in him, and the way he decides to look at it, it'll be what he decides at the end of the season, really, I suppose. And whether he wants to stay here, whether he wants to go to an NRL club, or he wants to face a different challenge, that's for Jackson to make that choice. We can just make it as comfortable as it can be for him now, and put the best offer forward to him.
Doesn't get many, but Darcy's smile when he went in with the post. Joy to watch.
Yeah, really pleased for Lama. Lama's been finding form again just recently, and kind of carrying us as a middle, really generating some momentum with us with his leg speed and his quick play the balls. And the one thing he hadn't done was score a try. So when he come on that line there and scored the try, I think that's where you're seeing all like the relief off him. But yeah, no, I thought he was outstanding, Lamb today. I think he did something like 63 minutes straight off the bat today, and he probably would have wanted to stay out there a little bit longer, but it's a short turnaround for Toronto, so we need to be a little bit smart with him.
All good?
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers, mate.